Honest, back again today with another video, and it's gonna be my, I believe this is my third Halloween look of this year. And you guys, I wanted to kind of like break up the color palette a little bit. I felt like I was doing everything like red and black, so I decided to give you guys something rainbow. And yeah, I decided to come up with a gangsta clown but pride. Okay. Okay, this one is for the boys, this one is for the girls, this one's for everybody, because honestly it's giving like Crow, it's giving Joker, it's just fucking giving. Sagey Sage here with me because she's a little scared of mama. It's just mommy. She don't even want to look at me. Look at her. Sage, why are you scared? This makeup look took so long, you guys, so you know, show some love, okay? Blow these comments up because this took a little hot minute, okay? And one thing that I do want to say, if you are gonna recreate this, just make sure that you do have a steady hand, because girl, trying to do all these little details and the outline with the liner, you guys always know I say if you fuck it up, you're done. You're done. So yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy this Halloween Gangsta Pride makeup clown. I'm obsessed. But yeah, if you guys want to see how I got this one, then you already know what to do. Definitely keep on watching. And yeah, guys, until next time, bye. Isn't she so cute though? Alright, beauties, jumping straight into voiceover. You already know how we do. Brows is done. So the first product we're going to be using is the PLOUISE base in the shade Rumor 0. This is the white one. And you guys, this is going to be our best friend in today's look, because let me tell you, I do not have no Halloween face paint. And to be honest, I really don't even fuck with face paint like that. I like to do all my looks with just makeup and makeup only. So I'm going to show y'all how I did today's look. So now that we have the white base on our lids, we're going to jump into the James Charles palette and we're going to get into this rainbow eye look. Okay, so I like to use the white base just so that way our colors show nice and bright. So we're gonna go in with the yellow first, and then of course I'm gonna go right next to that with orange, and then just finish it off with red. You guys, the only technique that I'm using in this eye look is that I am stamping on my colors all the way up into the crease, and then you guys are gonna see after I got every color nice and packed on, I am gonna switch over to more of a fluffy brush. And you guys, so that way your red wouldn't turn pink, I don't recommend blending it too much. I just like to scrape right along the edges, and as you guys can see, I'm kind of using like a tapping motion for that with very minimal product on my brush. That way I get a nice faded look. But yeah, this is what I was talking about. Now I'm going with a big fluffy brush, and with each additional color on the fluffy brush, now you just want to go in and make sure that everything is nice and blended all the way up into the brow bone. I like to utilize all of my eye space, so I like for my eye looks to be all the way blown out, hella dramatic. Y'all bitches already know how we do. But talking about dramatic, bitch, let's add some glitter, because I felt like I didn't want the look to be super matte. I wanted there to be some type of like eye popping shit to the eye. So I decided to go in with orange glitter on the warmer side of the eye. And then you guys are going to see I'm going to use the bluer purple one for the other side. So this is kind of like the glitter, pressed glitter that I'm using. This is the Party Talk kit from ColourPop, the pressed shimmer glitters. They're so pretty, you guys. So yeah, now that we have one eye done, I love the way the glitter looks right in the dead center. I'm so happy that I did that. But anyway, now moving on to the other side. First, we're going to go in with the green and then pop in the blue. Like I said, I'm using all of the shades from the James Charles palette. And this is kind of like my go-to palette for Halloween looks, because everything that I need is just right in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go scrambling through my palette drawer and trying to find a million palettes just so I could get each and every color. So that's why I really recommend this palette, especially for Halloween. But anyway, now I'm going in, like I said, same technique on the other side, all nice and blended, and then of course just adding that final touch, that glitter. And you guys just see how beautiful that glitter looks. I also did go in with a more chunkier like silver glitter. This one has like stars and shit in it, and I just tapped that right over. And then I do have another one that's more of like a golden with like the stars. By the way, this second glitter that I'm using is from the Bretman Rock ColourPop collab a hella long time ago. It was like the Get Wet Get Lit collab. Remember the red and blue, like I don't know, it was a while back. But anyways, I still have those glitters, so that's what I did, pop in for the more chunkier glitter on the center. And then I did go ahead and highlight my inner corner. So we're gonna leave the eyes alone for a bit, and I'm gonna jump into outlining kind of like our mask. So I'm gonna do the eye part first, and I am using a white ColourPop cream gel liner. This is very easy. because it is a cream liner, so it's gonna just glide right onto the skin. And I'm using this to just reference where the mask is going to be. And as you guys can see, I have no foundation, nothing on my skin, because I do want this to be hella white. So you want to make sure that you do this before the foundation, because if you try to put this on top of foundation, it's definitely going to turn beige and it's not going to be as white and pigmented. So yeah, you just want to basically map out a nice rough draft of what you're going to be doing, where the mask is going to go, and then I am going to go ahead and start filling it in. And now, before I fill it in, actually, I'm going to pop on my foundation. And yeah, guys already know the drill. I'm using my Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. And I'm using a tiny, tiny little brush to apply my foundation. Because like I said, we're not even going to be using so much foundation because our face is going to be covered more or less with the mask. But I do want our skin to look flawless, even on the parts that is supposed to just be skin. So as you guys can see, I'm just using a tiny little brush just so I can get right alongside of the edges of the mask. And then I am going to conceal my one side like normal. You're not going to conceal the other side because that is going to be all white. So I'm just going to put on my concealer and then set that with some powder. You do want to set the under eye as well as the entire face with powder, because like I said, you do not want anything to mix with your white. So just make sure that you're setting it all with a nice mattifying powder. Now that that's all nice and set, you just want to go ahead and contour your other side of the face like normal. So I'm going in with my Essence Matte Club Bronzing Powder Palette. I love this bronzer. It's like so cheap, you guys. Well, not cheap like in a way that the product is cheap, but it's very affordable, I meant. But it's such a good pigmented bronzer, you guys, and you do get 4 shades, like you can't even go wrong. But anyways, I'm trying to contour the little side of the other side, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and start to fill in the mask. So now you see I am going back in with the P. Louise base in Rumor Zero, the white one. And like I said, if you want to go in with cream paint, you go and do you. It'll probably be a little bit easier, but I just don't have any paint. I should probably invest in some good Halloween face paints, probably for next year. I don't know, I just personally I don't know, I just like to do everything with makeup. I don't know. But yeah, I am now going to pat that on with a sponge. You do not want to swipe it too much because you want this to be as pigmented as you can get it. So I'm going in with a tiny little concealer sponge. This one is from e.l.f. And I'm just going to pack alongside. You want to avoid the eye area so that way you do not get the white on your red. And you do want to kind of like avoid the brow. So you can use a tiny brush to apply it, but here I go, always trying to make my life hard as hell and get everything done with the sponge, but it worked. So now I'm going in with a second layer. Like I said, if you don't want to use your P. Louise base, because this shit is all the way from the UK and I live in New York, so it's pretty kind of hard to get my hands on this. But anyways, you just want to use anything that's white and creamy. So yeah, now I'm going in with a second base and doing the same exact thing, just tapping that on. And there goes my boyfriend, always interrupting me while I'm filming. Not necessarily interrupting, but he's always in my damn footage in the background, and he starts making my camera shake. So if you guys see my camera shaking, is because he's passing, so please excuse that. But yeah, now I'm going in with the James Charles palette again, and I'm taking that pressed big white shadow, and I'm literally gonna dip my sponge dead in that bitch and press that in all into this mask to make sure that everything is nice and set. But you know, honey, we gonna have to jump into the Anastasia Riviera palette, because if you need a stark white, ain't no other shadow as white as this shadow in the Riviera palette. This is my favorite matte white, you guys, and I don't know if y'all can see a difference with the white eyeshadows versus that one than the James Charles one, but honey, this Anastasia one kind of just shitted on the James Charles one, because girl, that is what the fuck you call white, okay? So now I'm going to complete the same exact steps onto my mouth, doing the P. Louise base first, blending it out, adding on a few layers just so that way you have everything nice and pigmented, and then setting that all with white eyeshadow. But I did decide, like I said, to cut that part out because I was mad close to my camera. And this is a little behind the scenes. I want to cry right now, girl. I'm in excruciating pain. I've been here for 6 hours and my back is on fire. But I did go eat some Chinese food, and then I came back in the game strong because now bitch is energized. So now I'm ready to go. But my background lights decided to die on me because, like I said, you guys, this is a little 15-minute video, but this is literally 6 hours of footage. So yeah, and don't get me wrong, the look itself didn't take 6 hours, but you guys know I like to film my little reels for Instagram and my TikToks and stuff. And then I do have a daughter, so I do have to kind of like stop a few times in between, and of course just take a little smoke break, a eating break. I do what I gotta do, so that way, you know, like I said, I don't rush anything, and I can actually give you guys like a nice calm beat, if that makes sense. Because after a while you don't want to do it anymore, and then you start to rush it. I highly recommend to just go take a break, because then that's how your look comes out fucked up. But anyways, now I'm gonna add all the little details for the clown, which is kind of like the points on the eyes. So you're gonna do 2 points above your brows, as well as 2 points underneath your eyeball, you know, kind of give it the little clown look. And then I'm also going to highlight my inner corner with white, because I just really like that beaming white inner corner. I don't know, it's so drag, it's just so poppin'. And like I said, this is a pride look, so you know we got to be a little drag for this one. So now I'm gonna add some little decor on our mask. So I'm doing some swirls, some dots, you guys. At first it definitely looks complicated, but once you start to get the groove of it, you're just gonna start adding random lines wherever you see fit. I'm telling you, you're just gonna be like, I got this, bitch, let me add one more here, one more there. That's just how it's gonna go. And I'm telling you, you're just gonna like create your own little concoction, your own little mask. And that's like the beauty of this look, that everybody's mask is gonna be different, because you just do what you do, you know what I'm saying, and make it your own. So now that you have all your little details and decor in the mask, now you want to go ahead and make a very thick outline on the entire mouth part, as well as the eye part of the mask. And to me, this was the hardest part, trying to outline it and keep my hand straight, because I don't know, for some reason, is this just me, but the older I get, or I don't know if it's my anxiety, but I like shake now, and I never had that problem before ever. I could always keep my hand super straight, but now I have like this shaking thing going on with my hands. I have no idea, like it just came out of nowhere this year, and I think that it has to do with my anxiety. So I tried my best to outline the mask as straight as I can get it. But yeah, I'd like to use a felt tip, just so that way it mimics like a pen, and it makes your life so much more easier. But yeah, anyways, I went ahead and added these 3 little teardrops on the long side of my eyes. You know, we catching bodies out here or whatever. If you was a gangster clown, you know, you probably killed a couple of people, feel me? So now we want to go ahead and finish with the lips, and of course we got to do a red lip for this look. And of course I wanted to make it, you know, clowny, just so that way it fits the entire look. So I did add, you know, the little elongated corners on the side of my mouth. And then for this one, you do want to completely outline it as well. And I'm gonna be honest, like the lips literally like made this whole look come together, and they looked it so like cartoony. And it's so crazy, because every time I was FaceTiming somebody after I finished this, they literally couldn't believe that my look was real. They were like, bro, that does not look real. And I think it was the lips, it gave it more of like a cartoon anime type of look, and I just thought that it was so cute. But anyway, now I'm going in with black eyeshadow, and as you guys are gonna see, I'm gonna fade that black outline, because you do not just want a regular harsh black line on your lips. You want it to look like a gradient fade, so you want to do that with eyeshadow. And then I did just highlight my lips with some white liner. And then last but not least, I am just going to give us a clown little nose and outline that as well. And you know, it wouldn't be a prima donna look, of course, without some damn big ass lashes. So I did go ahead and pop on some lashes, but I wanted to challenge myself and see if I can do lower lashes. And girl, I actually got this little technique from Mama Mitchell, and girl, the lower lashes really did it for me. I feel like they just made the look so 3D and just so extra poppin'. I love it. Like, definitely add the lower lashes. But this is the completed look. I hope you guys did enjoy this Pride Gangsta Clown. This is probably my favorite look out of all of them. I do have one more look coming your way. I am trying to get that up before Halloween, you guys, but if it's a little after Halloween, do not kill me. But yeah, I hope you guys did have fun watching this, and if you recreate it, definitely tag me. And happy Halloween, prima donnas. Bye.